Hello everybody, welcome to Sunday, and this is VR Master League, our last day of the week 1 with some great matches ahead, including the season debut of the Phantoms versus Team Gravity. Team Gravity, this is their second game. Phantoms, though, formerly known as Backlash, formerly known as Ouroboros, formerly known as Cerberus, formerly known as a bunch of different things, but today they are Phantoms, actually a Spanish esport league. So falling under that umbrella now. Nice to see. So today we have, well, me, Palidore, here on the casters booth alongside SputnikKobra for these games, or at least this game. So how you doing, Sput?
I'm doing good as always. I'm here and I'm looking forward to a great match today from these two teams. I don't have much experience casting the European games, but I always look forward to watching them play and sticking along right with you.
Oh, no better place to start than right here in the beginning of the season. So hello to the Twitch chat, everyone joining us today and who will be joining us throughout the day. We have plenty of matches in store. I see Swift in there, Matty Fish, Lewis, and Single Shot. Welcome, welcome. Just waiting on one more player here before we get started, but until then, can pull up the preseason preseason nice page here for Phantoms. This is tough. I'm going to try and not call them Backlash, but you know. So you can see the preseason. I mean, the Phantoms, they pretty much ran wild on it. They only had that one loss in the regular season to Team Gravity. And actually, on that note, these teams are about to ready up, so I guess we'll have to get to that just a little bit later. But indeed, Team Gravity winning the championships, despite Phantoms or Backlash at the time kind of running rampant through the regular season. So it was a kind of an upset of sorts, but at the same time, not really knowing Team Gravity's history and what they're capable of. I mean, it was really kind of anyone's series there, and it happened to be Team Gravity who just was really on that day. And I remember Simon especially, in one of those games, just had some incredible saves in the last minute. In fact, he had a few saves, I believe, including an interception at the end and then a score. He basically did everything in one of those initial rounds to just help his team advance and eventually win that title.
Yeah, most definitely. And it's really good to see Phantoms showing interest in Echo Arena. They're an established VRML Onward team. They've had much success in the Onward community, and I love that this sense of camaraderie between VRML teams and organizations, that they've reached out and they've acquired another team within our league. And it's great for everyone to have that type of communication coordination between these games. And that's what's great about VRML, and I can't preface it enough that, you know, it truly is something special.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's why, well, both of us are here, and that's why the viewers all week have been tuning in here, still filing in, and see the numbers slowly creeping up. But yeah, a lot of activity this week too. A lot of those North American streams, we've had a couple of those continuous ones we're kind of experimenting with this season, and a lot of those ones were getting basically 40 concurrent for most of the hours, and that was really nice to see for a good portion of the week. So got that week 1 hype, certainly everyone does. And yeah, hello there to Zenith as well, Lowrider, and Alacost. Alacost seeing his team Fusion playing later, although Alacost not playing himself, I do believe. Dealing with an injury at the moment.
Team ready. Round starting in.
All right, well, round is about to be underway, so here we go. Team Gravity versus Phantoms. And as you can see, these teams get lined up in the tube, ready to go, adjusting their headsets and preparing themselves for what should be a really good match here as the headbutt joust goes off. Lewis and Simon, as well as Al Pacino, all moving up in a line, but snags out of the air. Matty taking that one away, clearing it clear away, and then here comes the boost over on the other side, resulting in a shot, and that is a quick start here for Phantoms.
Phantom's able to make that great steal in the backfield, and immediately the other 3 players got into a 3-person stack, getting into an advantageous position and getting that 3 from 15 meters.
Single shot pointing out the extension maybe not working. I just restarted right now, so maybe check again. You might have to refresh. And on that note, for the European viewers joining us here today, so if you hover over the Twitch player right now, and again, you may have to refresh, we'll see, but it should give you the live stats if you activate that overlay that pops up. And that's courtesy of a sealable bag from Kangarillas, as well as So Much for Subtlety, putting in some work there to get that going. So enjoy that for today's games.
And a shout to So Much for Subtlety. He's been instrumental in getting everything set up, and I don't think he gets enough recognition. So much for Subtlety being a contender from Season 1 and 2, and it's just great to see him still in the community.
Gators, yes. Amazing to still have him around. Does a great job at everything he does here and around the community. Torin up there from his regular old spot, one of his favorite ones, but granted, a lot of people do love that spot. Easy shot. And Ryan Rhino there with some highlighted, what you call them, Pog Champs. Yeah, see, I'm getting the lingo eventually. But, yes, he's wishing the extension was on mobile. Oh, but immobile is the disc, as well as the Phantoms cannot capitalize off that. They were shocked to find themselves as open as they were, and now a little disarray. And, wow, Team Gravity extremely fortunate there not to have paid for that.
Yeah, weird series of shots, but they were able to come out on top, and they still haven't scored yet, and they'll stick in this match, still down by 5.
Still down by 5, but plenty of time here. Some missed passes as, again, just the teams getting their wins kind of under them a little, because this is the debut for Phantom, but you figure it won't take overly long. Here's Lewis now, right from that corner angle, swings around the pole as he scores.
It seems like Phantoms was a little surprised that Team Gravity missed the disc from Joust Advantage. And they whiffed that shot, and they tried to recover it, and they whiffed another shot. But not to focus on the errors, we're back in this game.
Yes, sir. Rock Torres saying that EU is actually so fast. Holy poop emoji. Indeed they are.
So Torn with possession, taking it up the backfield of Team Gravity, throwing it to the floor, into the hands of Nillywick, looking to upper block, and get with the save.
Great save there, and even better boost. There's some of the speed we're used to seeing. Shot a little off. Oh, but it goes in nonetheless. Right off the head as well, looked like. So it turned into a 2-pointer. Very unlikely.
Still a great move by Sundance, able to convert that 3 into a 2.
Yeah, they'll take it, I guess. That is 4 points now for Team Gravity here as Sundance, the aforementioned, takes it over, and Torin will get punched. So Vaya now has a lane. That is a tough shot between that island and the barrier, so could not quite mail it. And Maddie will clear that as a result, but actually just an interception. That's a quick fling off into the distance where punched out. It's Vaya with 2 crucial stuns there, enabling Lewis to retrieve this disc. So nice brawling from Viatrex.
So maintaining possession at the back line, sending it to Pac-Man. Lewis looking for that parallel pass, doesn't have it, sending it back. Still under pressure, giving it to Bowtie. Simon looking for these passes in bubble, getting the pass to post, the pass below, and the shot, and it goes out.
Good job there. Sundance it was. He was covering. Whoa, that one's dangerously close. He was covering that barrier pass that the Team Gravity was trying to make for the shot opportunity. So good defense. And here comes Lewis. Little fader and taken out. Snagged out of the air by Maddie along with his boosted teammates. Maddie, of course, longtime goalie, and his teammates enabling him to just retrieve that disc, get a clear, but another intercept, another clear. Fast pace.
Definitely a breakneck pace. These teams are moving very quickly, and their stacks are formidable.
Even here, see the narrow miss on the pass, but even then, Team Gravity just great job of turning around on a dime to make a short-range stack to get that disc back. So they make up for any kind of these mistakes just with a pure speed. And here goes a good little dive, but punch right out. So this time Maddie again causing a turnover, but cannot get the clear here. Off to a corner bounce pass, missing Al Pacino's hands. Al Pacino gets stunned. Sundance looking for another clear. There it is, but there's the boost again. And this is exactly what Rocktor was talking about and what I talk about every time I cast these games, and that is just so dang fast. These two teams, all these teams in Europe, so back and forth. It's hard to even follow them on cam.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. I'm losing track, but I'm starting to stick in this match as Viatrex takes it up from the backfield with spacing, sending it to the floor, and this boost comes out to chase it.
And looking for that disc right there's Lewis, finally with a duck under, gets it under, and there is a lead for Team Gravity.
So starting with 5 points down, losing a joust advantage, able to come back from it, and they are now 1 point ahead with 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
So clock winding down here, pretty much goal for goal. Lots of these back and forth flurries, so not a high scoring game per se, but neither team pulling ahead either in this round. Over here, Torin with a opportunity, can't find the goal.
Not able to find that very, very small angle necessary to make that inner backboard shot, but they maintain possession, sending it to the block, and a shot from the left side, but it bounces off the crossbar.
And Torin does retrieve it off the wall, looks for a nest pass, but Nillywick not quite anchored to grab that one. Still, Maddie does retain, and 2 players for Phantoms. They'll back out here just to receive a disc. Now that's some high pressure, but Torin still squeezes the catch off that pass. A great dive there from couple Phantoms players, so there were 2 different options. It was Nillywick, the recipient from Torin.
So with a very close match, 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining, a 1 point lead favoring Phantoms. Team Gravity's going to come out with joust advantage, and they're going to have to make something happen quickly as this game is going back and forth.
Ryan Rhino there giving his stamp of approval perhaps on that pass after a little bit of disarray earlier. Now maybe finding their wind on some good team play. Here is just, look at that, 4 players in perfect formation looking for a less perfect shot, but maybe a rebound, yes indeed, and a fling. Didn't even need to look, they knew where their teammates were. There's a back pass for a beautiful soft goal, Maddie.
I think the goalie expected that to be a pass around the rim, and it surprised him just as much as it surprised me.
They will still gladly take it for Phantom's side, but yeah, Team Gravity now finding themselves down by a few. Minute 43, there's the quick boost in the pass. Being bothered there by the defense on Phantom's side. Definitely not transparent on the defense. They're feeling it right now because they just caused a turnover as a result. So Phantoms can't get a clear, and Team Gravity retains. Simon backs it out. That's going to be loosely covered by the D here, but a minute 20 left, encroaching on that goal. They don't need a 3, although it would be handy, and we've seen Team Gravity, especially with Simon there, usually striking and someone going for the goalie. I mean, they like to do it. If they can, oof, now that one, very crucial save to Lewis.
Great defense by Team Gravity, baiting the shot, getting into position with that boost, and shutting down that angle on goal.
Now shutting down any attempt. That disc not even going to be really a threat to be scored, but still retrieving it back. So with 50 seconds left, now is the point where Team Gravity, if they do get this disc back, they're going to need to start looking for 3s pretty imminently.
So with possession, looking for that pass above goal, and missing the shot, but not able to retrieve it into the hands of Simon. Simon going for that clear, and the boost from Phantoms comes out, getting into the defensive position at goal.
Okay, Lewis now, here it goes. They need to find that stack. They really need that 3. They took it. 21 seconds left, though. Maybe could have had some time to back it out. We'll see. That's a great leech from Lewis there to enable them, but someone still needs to go for the goalie. Oh, Torin there gets the save. Does what he does all the time, all day, preseason, and now the boost. Nillywick taking that through, looking for that shot just to put the stamp at the very end. That's 12-6 here for Phantoms round 1.
Phantoms starting off with that 5-0 advantage, losing it halfway through the round, and then coming back roaring with a 6-point victory.
Super impressive effort there at the end. It was Torin with that defense. Back-to-back, just no one from Team Gravity quite able to do anything about the goalie. So as a result, just found themselves with the Well, again, nice advantage back-to-back defense, and it turned into a little capper at the end.
That it did in Phantoms, looking like a #1 Gold League team. These are the #1 and #2 teams from the preseason. It's great to watch them play. They're at the height of their game, and they define the meta just as much as any other team.
Looks like we got, oh, just a team switch, not a crash after. Okay, that's good. Well, yeah, indeed. It was these two teams just top of their game throughout the entire preseason. Team Gravity, the defending preseason champions. But Phantoms, of course, the #1 seed as well for a majority of that preseason, I do believe, and having themselves a lot of success there. Now, Team Gravity, this is their second match of the week. They did have one earlier, Wednesday or Thursday, I believe, against Smash Dash that went to 3 rounds and overtime as well. But Team Gravity ultimately being the beneficiaries of that win in the column.
So looking like the teams have something to prove. The first matchup in the season season 1 week 1. So they have something to prove, and they want to prove it.
Trying to do it here. Maddie takes it first for Phantoms. There's a beautiful cutting pass, but stopped. Momentum completely there by Lewis and Simon. Their stack. Look at those great redirects as well. So quick, but agile and accurate with those stacks. Getting the disc here, though, just overshooting that one and still retrieving it back. So Viatrex bounce pass to the reset.
So Al Pacino maintaining possession, not under pressure, trying to get a good setup for his team. He's got a pass to floor. What will Simon do? Simon looking, and getting that pass. Didn't even need the pass. He got the 3-point shot as the other player was running interference on the goalie of Phantom.
Yeah, looking, and then good looking for Simon there. Little interference, and that's all they needed to find the first points for Team Gravity here in round 2.
So with Joust possession, T Sundance K taking it, sending it to right block, looking for that subsequent pass to the floor with possession. Nillywick, this 1v1 with the goalie. What can he do? He sends a parallel pass to Maddie. Maddie not able to get it, retrieves it off the geometry, looking back, sending this backline pass. They're reorganizing, they're looking for something, going to ceiling, going to the goal, and right into the hands of Al Pacino, making the save and the clear to right tube.
Now the boost, this is just as important as anything as a save here, finding the disc, but again, slightly off on tracking that disc, so they could not get an open goal at the time, but they'll still have possession for Team Gravity.
So with possession, Simon on the floor, 2 players on the floor, looking for that spacing, looking to extend their 3-0 lead with a nice little duck and jump, but the goalie able to stop it. Maddie clearing it through left tube, and the boosts are trying to come out. They're getting stopped in the backfield.
Now grabbing it is Simon, looking just to avoid Sundance as he comes swinging and flinging his fist. And Maddie taking that at the other end. A pass over to Nilly. Nilly looking to Sundance. And here's some good control being shown on the passing plays. We know not just clear and boost, but very capable at passing, at shooting, at tying. 3-3, Phantoms Team Gravity in round 2.
Lewis and another player of Team Gravity holding at shield, trying to intercept that. They just didn't predict it as correctly, and they gave up the 3. It was a great, smart move. Just execution wasn't there.
And you can see on that replay, too, just the beautiful precision on that passing play. Barely got it through the fingertips of a pair of defenders there.
So Torrin to make the steal, sending it right to Viatrex at the back line.
Now some beautiful passing, just the same from Team Gravity. However, that final one cut off a little too soft, so enabled the goalie there to get the dive and the clear. However, the stack from Gravity does get it back, if only for a moment, as it once again gets knocked loose and cleared.
So with the first round of this series to go to Phantoms trying to pull ahead in this tie, trying to break it, maintaining possession, trying to cut off these backfield clears.
So defense just all kind of in disarray at the moment, off balance, but could not capitalize off that on offense, Phantom. So here it'll go and rolling into Nillywick's hands as he speeds on in. Al Pacino taking that right back. There's a bit of a stack. Looks like it gets knocked off ahead. They have a pass over to Simon. Simon will have himself the maybe one-on-one. He's going to juke. Oh, the juke may have not been the thing he needed at the time, just because gave the defense time to react to that and get to the barrier.
So with possession, Nillywood going for the long shot. Is it there? It goes off shield, but able to retrieve it and bounce right back to him, going behind goal. But
oh! That's very
partial
unfortunate.
save from Simon.
That was, yeah, one of those ones. Let me see here on the replay at the head, was it? Either way, kind of hurts. Okay, so it looked like a little slap, but just unfortunate roll into the bottom. So not the result that Simon wanted, and for Phantoms, well, the one they wanted, because now they're ahead by 2 here with 5:26 left in the second round, and 1 win under their belts already, for that matter.
So with possession, Sundance setting to the floor, trying to extend this lead. They got 2 points. Can they make it any more? Maintaining possession, Maddie to Sundance, trying to get into an advantageous position. Just going to charge the bubble, but send it right back to Maddie. Maddie missing the pass, and they scramble for the disc.
Taking it hidden, winding it with a windmill of a move. It's Sundance, looking like Wind Dance. And maybe going for the win dance. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I like it anyway.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And it looks like the chat also liking it here. T. Chronister saying these teams are really next level. Yeah, the speed, breakneck, and I mean, like I said, it's hard just as a cameraman keeping up with these two teams. Honestly, it is so quick. These camera switches have to come at a moment's notice sometimes with all these boosts and these clears.
Very frantic play. It's hard. It's very hard to keep track of it.
Viatrex does track it down, does send it down, does get the clear as it'll bounce around. There's 2 players for Team Gravity with the opportunity to bring it within the 2, and they do. So Lewis...
With 4 minutes remaining.
4 minutes remaining, Lewis getting the goal there, and even then, you see, we've seen like some of these games, not to slam North America, of course, for being slower, but it feels like there's just no time. That you see they lined up for maybe what could have been a 3 attempt, and in North America, these games this week, you've seen a lot of those where one of the teams will retrieve the clear and then send a pass over to Nest or to the corner for a 3, because they have time for it. In these EU games, they'll retrieve the clear, but there's almost never time to get those 3s, it seems like, just in comparison. Very, very quick.
Extremely quick. It's some of the fastest play we see in the league.
Yeah, a lot of these 3s, now there are 3s that are conceded in these EU games, but a lot of the times it's just, if they do get it, it is based off of kind of mixed up defense and some speed. Basically, if just someone's out of position, because, you know, these players are so quick to go for the stacks immediately when the disc gets loose, that sometimes the goalie leaves a little bit too early and they'll concede those 3s. But when it comes to just straight up, you know, end-to-end clear and boost from end-to-end on the court, you don't see a whole lot of those open ones.
It's constant play in transition. These teams clear, get in position, hold defense, clear, get in. It's just constant play in transition as Simon holds it on the floor, looking for a teammate behind goal, not able to get that pass.
Good coverage there. Sundance bothering Simon a little bit. And meanwhile, in the bubble, actually that pass going in, but oh, the ding cannot make that one. 2 minutes left still, and they're down 2. So Team Gravity certainly needed that one, but they're not totally dead in the water yet, because it is a retrieval by Lewis, and that'll be very handy for them.
So as we make the 2-minute mark, it's still a 2-point game, anybody's game. Trying to send it right back to the back line, maintain possession. Maddie going for the clear off the ceiling, but Al Pacino is there to retrieve it.
And he does. Maybe a little too quick of a pass to Viatrex, but still Simon takes that. Oh, look at that move, a hesitation. Jumped up, he spun around, hands in the air, he's flying, he's feeling good. He tied it.
Simon able to acrobatically outmaneuver Phantoms, closing the gap, and it is now a tie game with 90 seconds remaining.
Look at that on the replay, just kind of stopped his momentum a little bit, took a lightest of jumps, but it was just enough to float on through for a goal. And that is huge for Simon, so making up for the miss earlier, as that one will go in for a 3-point lead. Wow, Lewis now.
And Phantoms, with maybe a little bit of frustration, slapping the disc out of the spawn position, unhappy with that 3. They are now climbing back for the first time this series. Oh, second time this series.
Yeah, crazy turn of events here on back-to-back plays. I mean, it was, well, here goes Maddie actually to bring it within 1, and he does! So 1-point game, less than a minute left. This match is competitive as advertised.
Making itself out to be the better games of the day, because we look forward to these games. This is the gold division, and it should be the most entertaining.
So far, very true, and it is down here. What a perfect rollout for the 13-9 lead, and to most likely here, looks like force that game 3, that round 3 that everyone is hoping for. Indeed, what a fantastic rollout that was, and there you go. We're going to round 3 here, courtesy of that Team Gravity comeback.
So with a tied series, this third round should prove to be as entertaining as the previous ones. It's anyone's games, the number 1 and number 2 seed of the European division. They've got something to prove, and they're definitely aiming to prove it.
And right now, proving their worth with Simon and Lewis, that pair. Always so dangerous. Look at that. 8 points for Simon, 9 for Lewis, and between them, 2 and 3 saves respectively. Just doing a lot of work offensively and defensively. Al Pacino there, a pair of assists, a few saves as well. Viatrex with an assist and 28 stuns. Over on Phantom's side, it's 5 points for Nilly, 2 points for Sundance, 4 for Maddie, and 8 for Torin. A lot of assists, 2 apiece for 3 of those players there. And 6 saves for Torin as well, doing what he is quite known for, just being a menace.
Yeah, these saves are fantastic. Torin able to make 2 consecutive saves. One from the 3-point line directly ahead. And he's a tall guy. He's got the arm length, able to grab it right off the crossbar, stopping one of the goals from deflecting off the crossbar and into the goal, and then immediately afterwards able to stop a backboard 3.
Yeah, just great effort from them. And Ryan Rhino in the chat asking about the, like saying, what are these plays? They're scoring within 10 seconds of each other. It's kind of the ebb and flow of these European games especially. You see there are moments where the clear and boost, it just results in this ping-ponging 100 meters across the floor back and forth. Oh, that headbutt goal almost in off the joust. But retrieving it here is Torin. But yeah, you'll see the frantic pace at play where for a few minutes in a row sometimes, it's just back and forth. And then suddenly, because of that pace, all it takes is one of these teams finding a little bit of momentum, and you'll see these defenses taken off balance because of how quick they are on the stacks.
So going for that long 3, is it true? It doesn't. It bounces off the backboard into the hands of Sundance. Sundance getting stunned out, and the clear through left tube.
And then right back at him with, see, that one even online. So that's what I mean, is just, you see how back and forth with the ping-ponging it is, but because of this style of gameplay, eventually a team is liable to get a breakaway goal just because of it. No one's really ever standing still in one position on either team on the floor. They're always looking for their stacks.
And cutting off their angles, Lewis pump faking, not able to get the pass, getting stunned out, and possession goes into the hands of Phantoms as they clear, but the quick boost from Gravity to retrieve it in their backfield.
And sending that right down the middle, but there's a bunch of Phantoms players in the area. Great tap pass to Nilly. Maybe one more. No, doesn't need to. Domes it on Simon for the 2.
With the scoreless 90 seconds, it goes to Phantoms. Advantage 2 points. Joust advantage to Team Gravity. Team Gravity looking for something right now, looking to take this series.
Grumpy as Broom saying he hasn't mastered the art of the pump fake, and yeah, pointed out on Flair's cast earlier, Grumpy is one of those players in North America. He does not ever shoot the same way twice. He'll throw underhand, overhand, he'll throw 5, 10 fakes at you at once. He'll dribble that one in quick succession, and that's kind of what you got to do sometimes against so many great goalies who just know how players habitually shoot. So if you can pull out those fakes, those moves, sometimes you just have to, especially against the kind of defense that we're facing these days in Echo.
So Sundance with possession, looking cross field into the hands of Torren. Looking to extend their lead. Torren going for a long shot.
Oh,
Is it good?
yes.
And it is good at 40 meters to pull ahead by 5. A total rocket out of his arm, 18 meters a second.
Yeah, beautiful job on his part to squeeze that one through there. You see the defense was approaching, but he just lined that up, and that was a zinger of a shot to put them up by a couple goals now.
So with Joust advantage, but getting it off the tube and not able to recover it, it is Nillywick with the long 3. Is it good? Bounces off the crossbar, but there to retrieve it.
Oh, the
But getting the
save!
Save, Simon.
Wow, so making up for what was going to be a very costly turnover for Team Gravity, and just keeps themselves alive with that fantastic defense. And now a grab from Lewis, some more defense. Oh, but just losing the handles, so that, again, another one of those somewhat unforced errors, but fortunately the stat gets back quickly.
And Viatrex boosting back, cutting off that angle of Nillywick's shot, not allowing them to pull ahead by 8.
So here again, this is one of those scrambles where it's just end to end. Finally retrieving that is Torren with the soft pass to Maddie. No momentum, so dishes it one more time to Nilly, and looking mighty good on the team play.
Nillywick sending that pass, a nice little give and go. Maddie recognizing that he doesn't have the angle, sending it to Nillywick, and Nillywick able to make it at 6 meters.
Could have taken that first shot, Maddie, but not a lot of momentum, and it was kind of from a corner approach, so opted for that center pass. And if you go down middle like that with the offense, it's a lot easier of a shot because you have more available angles, and therefore the goalie has less chance of covering it with his hands, just compared to if you were approaching from that corner.
And I wouldn't say rip Gravity just yet. Gravity coming down from a 5-0 deficit. No, that was, excuse me, that was Phantoms coming down from 5-0 deficit. I don't know what I'm talking about, so let's get back to the game.
Yeah, so Team Gravity here, well, they did make the comeback in the second round, but they're trying to do it again here, not going to be helped by that turnover. Much too soft to pass, and as a result, here comes a very, very speedy Torren, and he'll get that 3 as he fades right behind the goal. Great shot.
So looking like an absolutely secured victory into the hands of Phantoms with a 10-0 lead. Team Gravity has their work cut out for them. They have Joust advantage. They need 3s. They need 2s. They need anything. What will they do?
Ideally right here, just you'd like to see them if they can get one of those fundamental, Team Gravity type plays where prioritize those passes, that positioning into the bubble, a slow move up. They get a reset off and then find some patience. I know they don't have a lot of time to work with, but if they can just see that disc go in the goal off an easy play, that just might be enough to kind of calm the nerves a little bit here and make them settle down. Right
so
here
with
now.
possession,
Oof.
again, but able to send it right off the rim. A lucky respite for Team Gravity. Team Gravity clearing it, and that boost comes out. Can they get it? And they do. It's wide.
Little wide, just scared of the defense looming, but luckily the rebound from Via gets it to Al Pacino, so they won't pay for that too much and only wasted a few extra seconds off that. So, for Phantoms, feeling good, but they're not completely out of the woods in terms of securing this. They still have 4 minutes to score again and just play some good defense. For Team Gravity now, they saw one of those easier shots go through. Maybe it can help them build some momentum these last few. So another turnover will maybe give them that advantage. I mean, here it goes, an open goal. So if they can get that, oh, they just miss it. However, so Al Pacino tries to slap it down, and that's another one of those kind of unforced errors that might come back to bite them in the end for this one, especially if that goes in. Ooh, for Phantoms.
So Maddie looking for that cross pass, going from post, going to shield, but able to cut it off as Lewis sending it right into the hands of Sundance K.
And Nillywick looking okay there for the good pass right up to Nest and completes the play.
Still a 10-point game with 3 minutes remaining. Joust advantage to Team Gravity.
Swift saying, makes me feel good that Gravity just dinged it too. At least I'm not the only one. I mean, I've missed a 2-foot dunk before. Just I don't like to talk about it. This one goes through. Talk about a gentle dunk. That one stuck right in by Torin.
Torin adding insult to injury with that nicely placed dunk at 0 meters. It's 14-2 advantage Phantoms.
After the first couple rounds there, very tight and competitive. This one, though, Phantoms definitely pulling away, scoring almost at will, it would seem, while Team Gravity is just struggling a little bit with some of their passing plays and just converting some of these goals that they do have, the opportunities that they do have.
So maintaining possession is Team Gravity into the backfield, not able to get that shot as it sails wide.
So Al Pacino there, nice defense from Sundance, bothering Viatrex on the pass. It still looks like Team Gravity will retain. So Lewis trying to look for a teammate, goes off the board. So there you go. 3 points are late here, 14-5.
A great shot from Lewis, recognizing the angle that he had and taking it into his own hands and securing 3 points for Team Gravity.
And off it will go now. Phantoms in good position still, although that is a very crucial turnover caused by Team Gravity because it brings it at least a little closer. I mean, again, time not really on their side, but they're building something here late.
90 seconds remaining. They've got 6 points to come back from. I'd like to see them do it and force this overtime. It would be a great match. Team Gravity is not out, making 2 subsequent threes, and if they can do it, they will do it.
So a bit of a delayed launch there this time from the Phantoms. They do complete a pass. Luckily for them, gets through that defense. Team Gravity kind of picking it up here on the pace and on the pressure, but just coming a little too late in this particular round, perhaps. Maddie backing that up, tapping it back as well to Torin. There's the team play at play for Phantoms. And once again, just patience and resulting in maybe one more pass, but great cutoff by Lewis.
Team Gravity's not out. They're trying to chase this boost, but able to retrieve his Nillywick. Nillywick sending it into the hands of Al Pacino. Al Pacino sending it to floor to Viatrex. Viatrex getting stunned out immediately.
And with that done, I think that kind of closes the window here. Unfortunately for Team Gravity, could not complete their almost comeback here late. And maybe one capper, but Simon, well, off the cap, it looks like. And one last save there. Maybe one more pass here as well. 5 seconds left for a final shot coming in from Maddie, and he does. So 16-8, and Phantoms in round 3 take it.
Maddie with that inner backboard shot at 4 meters, an absolute rocket, leaving his hands at 18 meters a second and bouncing at 90.
So congratulations to the Phantoms there, scoring in bunches in the 3rd round to pull ahead. It was Torin, the game high, 16 points on his side. Nilly with 11, 2 to Sundance, 6 to Maddie, and 8 assists to Sundance. Wow, so the teammate, quintessential teammate here for Phantoms, just enabling everyone else to score over and over again with those passes.
And Maddie with 58 stuns. What an absolute juggernaut, getting 58 stuns. Good game to both teams. Phantoms just pulling it out, able to get that victory and secure the series win.
Absolutely, and Al Pacino, only one left on the scoreboard here for Team Gravity, so couldn't read you the other stats, but he did get 2 points, 2 assists, 4 saves, a steal, 21 stuns. So he piled on some stats in every category.